This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Fiscally responsible, financial geniuses, monetary magicians. These are the things people say about drivers who switch their car insurance to Progressive and save hundreds. Visit Progressive.com to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states or situations.
Every team, every topic, everywhere. This is Believe.
Welcome to the Jello Jiggling podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Ward, and this is kind of a quick update because the Lakers got some more bad news in terms of injuries. Apparently, the team announced on Wednesday ahead of the game against the Grizzlies at Crypto that Jaxson Hayes has suffered an ankle injury or ankle sprain during practice and will be reevaluated in 1 to 2 weeks, which is bad news because usually ankle sprain it can go 1 or 2 ways. If it's a really bad sprain, I mean it can linger for a while, right, until the swelling goes down, the healing begins, and I mean anybody who's played ball has sprained their ankle probably multiple times. I know I have tons of times. I actually broke both ankles before. And it's always the same way, coming down on some idiot's foot that gets underneath you and your ankle just goes straight to the floor. But I'm not quite sure how he did it, but I would assume it's something like that, probably going after a rebound or something. But it's just more bad news for the Lakers because they're already thin. You know, they've already got, Christian Wood and Jared Vanderbilt on the mend. There's already a serious lack of depth in the front court. And, the AD just had that eye injury where he got scratched by Jakob Poeltl last game against the Raptors. But fortunately, that wasn't a serious thing. Looked worse than it was. He's already to go for tonight's game. He's listed as probable, but I mean, he said in practice or after practice yesterday that he is definitely getting back on the court tonight. So that's great news. So that's a huge positive for the Lakers moving forward. But this is just unfortunate because Jaxson Hayes he's not a great player per se. He's just a decent center, right? I mean, he's not gonna move the needle too much, but it is another big body that's missing, and they've already got a problem in the rebounding department. It's basically AD, crashing the glass, and everybody else, it's just trying to, but just not. I don't even know if trying because they're terrible in boxing out and going after boards. I mean, you look at the game against the Raptors, but and plenty of other games. And tonight, it's Triple J is probably going to feast on that. But it's unfortunate. Yeah, he was coming off a pretty good game. He had 12 points on 4-6 shooting, 6 boards and a block. And that's about what you're going to get the best out of, Hayes. He's just kind of a lob threat. He's not a great defender at all. The Lakers have been trying to upgrade that position for a while, and all the rumors coming out now in terms of trade rumors is about Jonas Valanciunas and Brook Lopez, and I think there was one today about Robert Williams. So they're actively trying to find that. And then they got, Christian Koloko, who will probably get some huge minutes tonight. And sadly enough, he was manhandled by Jaren Jackson Jr. last game when they played Memphis. So that's probably going to be more of the same. He just doesn't have that physicality against the bigger centers. Triple J just saw him and his eyes got big. He just backed him down all the way to right underneath the basket and put it in with ease multiple times. So I think Koloko's okay. He's a decent guy. I think he's the same as Hayes, essentially, probably maybe a little bit less because he's still ramping up, trying to get back to game shape after missing so much time with the blood clot issue or whatever. But it's just more unfortunate news for the Lakers because their depth is their biggest, in my opinion, is their biggest concern moving forward because they don't have a bench really. I mean, even looking at this right now on ESPN, you got AD at center right now from what ESPN's saying, but he's traditionally a power forward. And then you got Jaxson Hayes who's out and Koloko behind him. And then LeBron is like an emergency center. I know it's positionless basketball these days, and that's whatever, but you still need bigs in the paint to make an impact. And they're going to be leaning on LeBron and Rui and AD even more, which sucks for him, but at least AD's healthy, because if that wasn't the case, I mean, Triple J would probably have a huge game tonight, and he still might. But just not good. Not good. The Lakers just keep waiting for good news, and it's just not coming. Because I think what JJ Redick said the other day, Christian Wood had like a setback in his rehab. Like he was feeling pain or swelling in his knee. So that's extended for another, man, I got to look that up because I remember, damn it. Hold on. It was just bad. It's just all bad. Because there's no timetable for Vando. There's no timetable for Wood. Let's see. I know I tweeted it out, or I think I retweeted my colleague who's at practice. Yeah. So, okay, Christian Wood is dealing with some soreness during his ramp up, so they will scale back and he will be reevaluated. That's a key term everybody needs to pay attention to. Reevaluated in 4 weeks. So you got to wait another month for Christian Wood, and even then, you might not get back on the floor. It just keeps getting worse with these guys. Reevaluated means they're going to check it out again and reassess, whether he's made progress or if it's more of the same. So it's not like a solid timetable. It's just basically we're going to check in a month. So they have no idea when this guy's coming back. I mean, this could go on for the whole season. I mean, I've seen that happen plenty of times before. I mean, look at Kendrick Nunn. I'm sure many Lakers fans remember that fiasco. This could be this year's version of the Kendrick Nunn, Christian Wood, and Vando, which is even worse. They just have a serious lack of big bodies, and teams never get fully healthy. They don't. It's a constant, when you play 82 games every other night, injuries are just bound to happen. It just happens. It's a physical game. It's a taxing game on your body. So these things happen. So you can never be that way, but that's why there's an emphasis on depth in the league. The deepest teams are usually the best teams, as long as there's talent at the top and decent players down the roster. But the Lakers just don't have that right now, and it makes you wonder, is it just going to be the same thing all over again? Just this constant, oh, we don't have this guy, we don't have that guy, so we're not going to reach our potential. Thank God they're 6-4 right now and undefeated at home at 5-0. Terrible on the road, obviously, 1-4. But it's been pretty good considering their situation. It's been pretty good. Lack of depth off the bench. No bigs really outside of Hayes and Davis. It's probably better than I would have expected. But I'm always kind of it's 10 games in. You got to wait till about 15, 20 games, maybe even 30 games before you get a real feel for this team. But when stuff like this keeps happening, it's just sucks. So 1 to 2 weeks, he'll be reevaluated. So I'm guessing that's a pretty significant sprain. Otherwise, he'd just be day to day, which is usually what happens, right? A guy just rolls an ankle and it's precautionary, but this is probably a high ankle sprain, I'm going to guess. I mean, maybe not, because they're not saying that, but it seems a little 1 to 2 weeks reevaluated is a little worrisome. But then again, I'm kind of a pessimist when it comes to this kind of stuff, because I'm always anticipating the worst case scenario, because that just tends to happen to this team for whatever reason when it comes to injuries. But that's the update for today. They play Memphis tonight, which I don't think Memphis has Ja. The status report yesterday that I tweeted out was Anthony Davis and D'Angelo are probable. D'Angelo's got an illness. Hayes was questionable yesterday with the right ankle sprain, so they already knew about this, which probably happened yesterday or the day before. JHS, Vanderbilt, Wood are all out. Left groin soreness for JHS. So that's what it looks like right now. I'm pretty sure that Ja's not playing. I think it's because of the injury that he suffered against the Lakers last week, which is just kind of carried over. I think it was a hamstring. I think. Recent timeline. No. Hold on, I'm just checking it real quick. See if they've got anything on ESPN. Let me see. So Desmond Bane is definitely out with an oblique injury. He was out last time. Marcus Smart's out. He was out last time. He's got an ankle injury. Vince Williams Jr. is out. And it says Ja is out with a hip injury. He's week to week. So, no, that's just going to be Ja for the rest of the way in his career, because he's a high flyer, and he just doesn't. He puts his head down and goes straight to the basket and does all these crazy acrobatic moves in the air, and then just lands on the floor like constantly. It reminds me so much of AI, but AI was a tough SOB, man. That guy, I don't remember him dealing with a lot of injuries. I mean, I'm sure he bumps and bruises all the time, but not like this, where he's constantly out with something. It seems like a trend in the NBA these days. Like, Zion, same thing. He's always out. I mean, he's spectacular when he plays, but when he's out for a considerable amount of time. I think he's out right now. I think that the Pelicans have like one of the worst situations in the league in terms of injuries. Because guys just keep going down left and right. I don't think. Yeah, Alvarado just went down. I think he had an ankle injury too. No, it was hamstring. And then Zion with a hamstring. Jordan Hawkins, Herb Jones. I would love to have Herb Jones on the Lakers. He'd be awesome. McCollum, Murray. Jeez, that's your core right there outside of Ingram. Bummer, dude. Oh, hey, it's not the Lakers' problem. But anyway, so we'll see what happens tonight. We'll see if that, the absence of Hayes is, really impacts this team, but hopefully not. Hopefully you can just get through it. Until next time, later.
If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.